Welcome to There Is a Method to the Madness. My name is Rob Maxwell. I'm an exercise physiologist and personal trainer, and I'm the owner of Maxwell's Fitness Programs. I've been in business for the past 28 years. Welcome to Friday. I typically pick topics on stuff that I've been thinking about, things that come up during the week or things that just come up in general, things I see on social media, things people are talking about. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about responsibility and how to receive help, because it often applies to the physical fitness world, of course. So really what I'm talking about is, here's a question for you I want you to think about. Have you exhausted every bit of something that you can do for yourself while seeking help? Think about that. Have you exhausted all of your efforts? I would say before seeking help, but that's not necessarily a qualifier. You can be getting help in a certain area and exhausting all of your own efforts. But are you exhausting all of your own efforts, or are you trying to get somebody to do it for you? The reality is, no matter what it is, and I'm pointing this out because too often times people talk about their failures, or they continue to have the same problems they had or have because they're not exhausting all of their efforts. Let me try to give you a couple examples. So if you're going to a personal trainer, you are looking for help for your physical fitness. That help could be all of the things, or it could be one of these things, but it could be structure, like you're not quite sure how to structure your physical fitness to get the maximal results for your time and effort. It could be push, like you need that push or want that push. That's a good thing. I like that. I would go to a trainer for that reason. None of us can push ourselves as hard as somebody else can. I don't even know that it's possible. You could be looking for accountability, and again, that's a good thing. You know that if somebody's waiting on you, you're more likely to do it. Again, I take advantage of those situations too. When I used to go to Masters Swim at the YMCA or other places, I mostly went for accountability. I liked getting pushed and some structure, but mostly it was the fact that I knew the class started at either 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. depending on the class, and they're going to be there, and I need to get there and meet them. They're going to be going with or without me. That's a good thing to know. So accountability is a good thing, knowing that somebody's going to say, hey, I missed you at class today or whatever, and just knowing that there's people on the other side of the location waiting. You know, maybe not waiting for me, but they're there. So that gives me some sort of accountability. And personal trainer, the trainer is definitely waiting on you to get there if you have a scheduled appointment. It could be the fact, these are all the things I'm stating, that you might be going for. You might, want some socialization. You're lonely, whatever. I mean, there's worse reasons to do things. There's really nothing wrong with that. I'd say that one isn't very common. I'd say that some of those social interactions occur with those other goals as well. So rarely do people say, I'm hiring a trainer to have somebody to talk to. No, but that comes with it. But I mean, there's multiple reasons what you might need help for. I could play the same game with chiropractors, massage therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, anybody really, your doctor. You're seeking help. So the question is, though, are you maximizing everything on your end, or are you waiting for somebody to do it for you? I mean, I don't think too many professionals mind putting in extra work. I don't think too many can do more than their half, though, really. But it's not that professionals don't want to help you a little further. It's just that it doesn't work. Now, I would be a little cynical and say some of the professions, which I won't name because I don't, and it could be any of the professions really, but maybe there are people that don't want you to do the work on your own because they want you to continue to need them, and that's an unhealthy relationship. That would be a codependent relationship. That's not a good thing. That's not utilizing your help very well. That's an unhealthy way to utilize your help. But there may be some that are in it for the money only, and it really could be any of those professions I named, including my own here. They don't necessarily want you to get better because they want a nice stream of customers. What can you say about that? Choose wisely, I guess. But, so much of that is on us as individuals. And I'm sure I've been guilty of this too, but the point is not taking advantage. That I just don't want it. I don't have the time and energy for it. What I mean is that I'm sure I have not put in 100% of an effort when going to somebody for help and then sort of wondering why I'm not getting better. I mean, I'm sure we're all guilty of it. I hope as I've gotten older I don't do that anymore, but I'm just, I'm not going to sit here and judge those that are doing it. I'm just trying to point out that it flat out doesn't work. I'm going to give a couple examples. I don't get into religion or anything like that, but I want to kind of give some examples of where some of the classic wisdom through the years has even said it. If you tend to be more on the Christian side, one of the quotes in the Bible from the book of James says, faith without works is dead. You can think of that. Basically what that means is that, it's well and good to, ask for help, seek help, and in this case they're talking prayer. But if you don't put in the work, then you're probably not going to get the results. My mom, we were raised to be very Catholic. She used to always say, basically, the harder you work, the more, how did she phrase it? Because I don't want to say the wrong thing and piss off anybody that's, super into it. God does things, God helps those who helps themselves. That's what she would say. That's what I was trying to say. Sorry, it's still early in the morning. Not that it doesn't, if you don't, please don't read that into it. I think, my mom was very spiritual and she gave good sage advice all the time. And basically she was saying, if you put in all you got, most likely things are going to fall into place for you. I mean, I would probably word it that way, and I absolutely believe that. I don't think we could just sit back and say, help me, and then not do anything. I just really don't think that that's the way it works there. So those are some examples, and you could look at other philosophical quotes through the years, but the bottom line is, as a trainer, we witness it all the time. We see it a lot. People want help to lose weight, yet they're not logging their food, or they won't give up a certain food. And then they're wondering what the magic answer is, what the secret is. And again, I've talked too much about this over the months about that. So I'm not really going to get into that. I'm just trying to get you to understand that if you seize every opportunity you have, whatever it is, you will see results. And too often, we're just not doing it. And it's usually the little things that we think, there's no way that this little thing can make a difference. Yet it is. People that are familiar with any kind of 12-step program, and I like to refer back to those two. Again, I'm just using experiences. I've worked in a rehab center before. I worked at Stuart Marchman when I was in college, and I gained so much wisdom working there. I mean, gosh, you learn so much about human nature, and you learn what works and you learn what doesn't work. And you often see that the people that are just going to follow the rules, the little steps that you tell them, are the ones that get better, and they don't overthink it. So you see that a lot there. They'll say, well, I want to stop drinking. Okay, good. That's a wise idea. Doesn't seem to be helping you a whole lot. And the advice they might get is, no matter what, I'm not asking you to stop. What I'm asking you to do is, if you start to really get the tendency to go do it, drug, whatever, drink, drug, whatever it might be we're talking about, before you do that, here's my phone number. You call and we'll talk for a couple minutes. And if you still want to afterwards, go for it. Guess what? They don't call. Like, they're not really taking all of the advice given to them because it seems too simple. They're like, well, how's that going to work? How's that going to work? And it's like, okay, but it does work, but they don't do it. So, they can go to all these different rehab centers and all these different things, but unless they're going to take the little tiny tools and pieces of advice and run with them, none of it is going to do any good. Or they might be given, go to a meeting a day, just do that. How can that work? Just do it. Then they don't do it. Oh, I relapsed. Did you go to a meeting a day? No. So, it's always this bigger picture answer people are looking for. And I'm just using that because it's an extreme example. But guess what? Obesity, being overweight, and being inactive is also not good for the health. It's also very bad for you. So little things like when people say, well, I'm just not getting my cardio in, what are some things I can do to get my cardio in? You tell them, well, okay, so you're a runner, you're a walker. Yes. Okay. So put your shoes out in the morning, at night, put your shoes out by your bed. So when you get up, you're looking at your shoes and put them on. Just put them on. Don't walk around in socks, barefoot, whatever. Put them on. Obviously, after you put your clothes on, I'm sure your neighbors would appreciate that, but put your clothes on, put your shoes on. That's a huge, huge little tip that has worked for so many. Here's the key, that want it to work. Okay, I'm going to say something a little controversial here. I think a lot of people that don't get better at things really don't want to. They don't want it bad enough. They want the fruits, but they don't want the labor. Sorry, said it, believe it's the truth. Because for people that really, really do want to get better, little tips like that, they're going to do it. They're going to say, you know what, that really frickin' worked. Or another one we tell people, you know what, why is it you don't? Well, I start thinking I don't have time for this 30 minutes. I got to do this, I got to do that. I got to get to work. Says, oh, okay, so would you agree something is better than nothing? Yes. Okay, so, put the shoes out in the morning, put your clothes on, put your shoes on, and then tell yourself you're going for a 5-minute walk. Get out the door, 5-minute walk. Oh, okay, what will that do? Just do it. Oh, okay. And they do it, and then they say, you know what, I ended up doing the 30 minutes because once I got out the door, I started feeling better. Exactly, it freaking works. But then the people that don't do it say, oh, I didn't do it because I just thought, if I can't do the 30, I know you said 5, and there's always this reason people don't want to do things. So there's just not any advice anybody can give you if you're not willing to do the work. And you have to ask yourself, very simple here, I want you to think about this all day long. It doesn't have to be regarding physical fitness. I think, that's one of the areas of my expertise, but it could be anything. Have you exhausted everything on your part? Or have you just been a person that's kind of wandering around waiting for somebody to tell you what to do? And then when they do tell you what to do, you don't do it anyway. Have you exhausted everything on your own? If it's weight loss, have you really, really, really logged your food and ate reasonably for the last 2 or 3 months? Or have you started and stopped and blamed the diet or blamed the person who gave you the advice? If it's you're not really reaching your goals cardiorespiratory wise, have you done the training advised, or have you blown off your training? Have you gone harder than your coach told you to go, or have you listened to your coach? If it's strength training and you're not seeing the results, have you put in the effort? Have you given good feedback and told your trainer or your coach what's really, really going on? And have you given them 100%, or are you always finding excuses to basically dog the exercise? The bottom line is what you put into everything will be what you get out of it. And that is something we've really, really, really lost sight of in this culture. And I'm not going to blame the kids, because honestly, I think a lot of them have greater work ethics than my generation. I'm not going to blame them. Everybody else is. I think what we're seeing with them, we have to all own as parents. We're the ones that created anyway, so we might as well keep our mouth shut. We're the ones that did it. So, I think we need to, watch that tone a little bit. I don't think it's generation specific. I just think everything has gotten so easy, everything is so soft, everything is so given to us, everything is, we don't know hardships, people talk about first world problems, that's what we experience a lot. So we haven't learned really how to get better at things because we haven't had to work that hard. Yes, I'm generalizing, but I'm saying that the work ethic may not be there like it used to because we haven't learned it and we haven't practiced it enough. So I'm just going to leave you with that simple question. Whatever it is you're supposedly not reaching or you're really not reaching, have you exhausted everything you can do on your end? Have you tapped out? And if you have and you're still not seeing results, okay, I believe you, I guess. But have you? Or have you left something on the table? Have you left something on the field? That's the question I want to ask you, Give me some feedback, shoot it back, let me know. Let me know areas where you think you've left it all out there and you're still not seeing results. My bet is there's something you're not doing. That's my bet. All right, so with that, I'm going to thank our sponsors, Jonathan and Lynn Gilden at the Gilden Group at Realty Pros. They currently have over 275 star reviews on Zillow and over 100 million sold between them. That's pretty darn good. Their goal is to provide the highest level of customer service, and let me tell you, they do that. They always get back to you. Text back right away, call back right away. All the reviews back this up. Never been a better time to sell your house, people. I'd get on it. So if you need any help, please call Jonathan and or Lynn at 386-451-2412 or at thegildengroup.com. Until next time, be Max Fit and be Max Well.